everyone, welcome to Bickering Books. I'm Sarah.
And I'm Becky.
And today we are talking about Still Life with Tornado by A.S. King. So this is just basically about Sarah, who's having an existential crisis. She's had different issues that occurred at school, issues that are occurring at home, and it's kind of all coming to a head. And so she's kind of mentally working through all of those issues and healing and getting through it and moving past it.
Which is a good way to phrase it, because I almost had a nervous breakdown reading this book.
What?
I just couldn't.
So, I'm going to start with saying I love A.S. King. Super love her. But this book was too much her style. Her style is very fantasy mixed with reality. I guess
magical realism.
Magical realism is really what she is. And usually it works, but it was just too magical for me.
I liked Gloria O'Brien's Seas of the Future, which is a very odd book. And I liked Please Excuse Vera Diaz. Vera Dietz. I liked that too. But you know what? Those characters were very well developed, and those characters were very likable, even though they were going through like these bad things. This character, I just wanted to lock her in a room and make her shut up.
Yeah, she was really whiny. She was super whiny.
Super whiny, super annoying. And if she had said, "That's not original," one more time, I might have thrown the book out the window. It was so freaking painful. And I think this is one of the books that's getting Prince buzz.
It did get painful after a while.
It was so bad. And then
it did get painful after a while.
And there's all the family issues are so realistic, and I think she did a good job showing the family issues, and she showed a way that people can deal with these family issues realistically, and then something else would happen, and I would just be like, shut up.
See, and I think my favorite parts, though, were when she flashed back. There were flashbacks to her past, and I think the past kind of worked better for me because it was less magical realism and more kind of in the style of Vera Dietz, in the style of Reality Boy, in the style of Ask the Passengers.
By that point, I was so frustrated and annoyed. I just had red rage everywhere. I couldn't even remember. And I just finished this morning, and it was done. Yes, kind of things. It was just a little too much of her writing style, which sounds terrible because I really do love her and I really wanted to like this book, and I couldn't. I wasn't going to read it until Sarah's like, we should do this video.
Because I love A.S. King.
No.
I typically love A.S. King.
And there's actually a picture of Reality Boy right there.
I know, because like I said, I love Reality Boy. I made sure that it ended up in the picture. I'm telling you, I love A.S. King typically. I think there were so many issues.
There's a lot of narratives, and I didn't feel that the narratives were all that great. All the different voices, like her mom's voice it didn't really seem to fit with the rest of the story.
I think it was an interesting perspective, like an interesting take on the story. But then, like when I was reading that, I kind of was wondering, is this really more of a new adult book than a teen book? It felt a little bit more.
I could see that doing better for like the character was in her 20s and doing this all. Because like I said, you don't know Sarah. You don't care about Sarah. You don't care that Sarah's gone through all this stuff.
The terrible thing is, like, her name is Sarah, and I don't even remember that that's her name.
I know.
And it's my name. Like, I should know.
And so the brother's story, because she does have a brother, the brother's story, the little bit that you see of Bruce, to me was way better.
I would love to have read a book from him.
From his perspective, dealing with these issues.
Yeah. Well, and then, like, my other issue is, so what sets off this existential crisis is, like, something that happens at school, but, like, I just don't understand, like, it wasn't severe enough for me to understand why she would have come to this point where she's, like, flipping out and saying original all the time and following homeless men around
And eating trash.
Yeah, that was very, like, okay, it's time to go in to see a psychiatrist.
Right.
And, like, her mother's an ER nurse. Why? What? Like, it's one thing to have certain issues, but it's another thing, like, to see that your daughter is having a psychiatric
Oh, she's having a
break.
full-blown breakdown.
Yeah, totally. And I don't get why, like, I get why she's having a break. I just don't get what the event that set it off is why it set it off.
Nobody does.
I'm sorry, Sarah. I'm sorry, A.S. King. It didn't work for me, and
It did not work.
really wouldn't recommend this
Like
one.
I said, Red Rage. So we should just rate it.
Okay. Oh, I feel terrible because I love A.S. King.
So I'm going to give it 1 goblin. I did not like the writing. I did not like the characters. Like I said, I literally thought I was going to have a nervous breakdown. However, there are important issues that are addressed in this book, and I liked the way that they resolved the important issues in this book. So it's a valuable book to have, because for somebody, they might be able to read and in some way magical, mystical, over the rainbow way, be able to connect with the characters and actually learn a way to help themselves out of a bad situation.
I'm going to give it 2 goblins because they're really... I love A.S. King so much. That helps. And I think that there were certain pieces and parts where you can see kind of the writing that works for me. I think she went a little overboard in the overall narrative, but there were pieces and parts like Bruce and like the Mexican pieces and parts that like worked for me and were really well written as far as I'm concerned.
And that's where we are.
Yep. Adios.